Hey, call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video titled, She's 37, pretty, and famous, but still can't find a man. Let's get right into it.
Now, currently, I'm being eaten alive on the internet
Uh-huh.
because I was asked,
What you say?
would I date a man that makes $70,000? What do you think my answer
I know
was?
your answer was no, because we had the conversation. I was like, really?
Now, tell me why that's bad.
I don't think it's bad.
Why is it judged so harshly?
Because you got many different factors.
Oh, please tell me, as from a man's perspective, I need to know.
A lot of people fall into that price range.
What does that have to do with me?
Because when people see you say something,
Yeah.
based on just you, this is just my preference.
My preference.
Immediately, people go into, oh, you talking about me.
Right.
And so that's the knee jerk.
Yeah.
So that's why they like, oh, this, that, and the third.
Right.
And you have the people that have been gold dug on.
Okay.
And oh, she just after the money, man. And so you got that coming at you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and people get in their feelings, they get triggered by various reasons, like, well, I make this, and so they feel away. So, but everybody has their preference.
Everybody has their preference.
Everybody has their preference.
And you know what? I got to break this down, okay? Because they've been saying, I've been waiting on Sarah to explain what she meant when she said what she said.
Yeah.
So for those of you that have been rocking with me, I appreciate you not jumping to conclusions.
Yeah.
But this, I'm going to give the science behind it, and then I'll talk about preference, right?
Okay.
The science behind it is human nature. Masculine men desire an aesthetic because it says health, right?
Yeah.
Aesthetic, which is beauty. This is why masculine men want a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Being a beautiful woman is a part of being high value, right?
Uh-huh.
So they want that because symmetry usually means health, which means healthy air.
Yeah.
So either subconsciously or consciously, one of the reasons why masculine men are seeking beautiful women is because they want healthy children. Whether you know it or not, that's just the truth.
Yeah.
That's the science behind it. For feminine women, we are naturally seeking safety and security.
Okay.
So do you have to make what I make or however much you make or whatever that may, the dollar amount, it's not about the dollar amount. It's I personally, my life, I can't even live where I live off of $70,000 a year. After taxes. I'm homeless. You know what I mean?
And what does that got to do with us? What does that got to do with us? Oh, after $70,000 a year, after taxes, you're homeless. You can't live where you live. What does that have to do with a man who makes $70K? Look, I'm going to break it down because she asks, tell me why it's bad that she won't date a man that makes $70K. Okay? And the guy went on to say, oh, it's a knee-jerk reaction because people think, well, I make $70K and they take it personal. And, some people have been gold digged before. I don't think it got to do none of that. It has to do with the arrogance of her. Sarah, you're 37. You said it yourself. Masculine men want an aesthetic because it means health. Let me tell you something. You're not the most healthiest girl out there at 37. And the reason why we want health, you said it because we want healthy children. Nobody wants to start making healthy children with a 37-year-old. So it's weird that you said you won't date a man that makes $70K. Here's the reality. A man that makes $70K wouldn't date you. Men who make $70K are in the top 20%. If you make $70K as a man, clap it up. You're in the top 20%. Don't let a girl who's older, famous, and thinks that pretty is so unique when there's beautiful women all around the world younger than her. That's what she's not getting. What she's not getting is she's trying to make it seem like a man that makes $70K, he's nothing. Oh, he's below me. He can't live in my neighborhood. What that got to do with him? What that got to do with him? Baby girl, you don't have the right womb for him. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you guys. I like to be transparent. I don't even make $70K a year yet. I probably will. I'm a YouTuber. I'm growing every month, making more and more money. My channel's worth more than $100K, but I don't actually make that kind of money just yet. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I wouldn't date Sarah. Why would I date a girl that's 37 and older when I could date a much younger girl? I actually don't like dating girls older than 30. And I'm 37, so we're actually the same age. I'm telling you right now, would I smash her? Sure, but would I date her? Hell no. Hell no. And that's so what she's saying, it rubs people the wrong way because she's assuming that she's above men that are in the top 20%. She wants a top 1% guy. Well, baby girl, how come you haven't got him? You're around him all the time. How come you haven't got him? That's the real question. Hey, listen up, Shape Squad. Are you tired of being ignored by women? Well, download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up. It's going to teach you how to master attraction, build unshakable confidence, and win with women without words. Because chances are you're not ugly, you just talk too damn much. So download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up, and take control of your dating life right now. Now let's get right back to the content.
I don't fit into that vision. And I don't want to feel bad for not fitting into a vision. But let's take it back to science. If I'm supposed to be seeking safety and security, the same way that I desire that is the same way that a man wants an aesthetic. So as a man, if you wouldn't take a woman, because 80% of people are overweight or obese in America, if you wouldn't take a woman that's 70 pounds overweight and universally unattractive, but she has a good heart and she nurtures you and she loves you and she cooks and she cleans and she does all those things, would you choose that woman?
Me, personally, or just in general?
In general, what do you think most men would say?
They'd be like, nah, you know what I'm saying?
But she has a good heart. Yeah, but she loves you. But she cooks and she cleans.
But it is, the fried chicken.
Right. So the truth is, you wouldn't because you don't have to. Yeah. That's the truth of it, right? Even if she's going to the gym every single day. Now, people will say that's harsh. It is human nature. This is may the strongest survive. You know what I mean? So I personally think that we need to stop being so sensitive about people's preferences.
I agree.
We need to stop being, and also if I am working on myself mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, and energetically, what is wrong with me wanting to be equally yoked to a person that is also those things? Now, does that mean that a man that makes $70,000 a year doesn't deserve love? No, it doesn't mean that at all. It means they absolutely get to have the woman that they desire. And for me, I've worked to a point where that's my preference is not to have that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And also for the men that are at home, if you would not choose a universally, and I'm saying universally across the board, unattractive woman that's loving and sweet and kind and nurturing, don't talk to me. Don't say nothing else because it's shallow. It's crazy. It doesn't even make any sense. Does that make sense though?
I mean, no, it doesn't make sense, girl. What are you talking about? How did you compare a man who makes $70K to a woman who's fat and obese? Like you really thought, and this dude's probably going to play softball with her because he's on her panel. So I don't expect him to actually ruffle the feathers. A lot of men, they know what time it is. They know they can read the room. He ain't going to try to upset her. So he's not going to tell her like the way it is. He's not. So she's trying to say that, 80% of women are fat and obese. So if I won't date a man that makes $70K, well, how come you won't date a woman that's fat and obese? Because she could be nice and kind and cherish you and stuff like that. Yeah, but why would I work so hard to date a woman in the bottom percentage when I'm in the top percentage? When I could easily, this is a problem you don't understand. Men who make $70K a year could easily not date a fat woman. That's not like a hard thing to do. You could easily not do that. And then you say, people sensitive about my preference. They're not sensitive about your preference. It's the internet. Everyone gets a voice. Everyone gets to share what they think about it. You're upset because the comment section's not going your way. Okay, not even in your own comments. Let's read her comments. Not even in her own comments, the comments are going her way. I wanted to read this comment right here. And by the way, I comment myself. Sarah discounts how important age and fertility are to men, not just beauty. Absolutely right. I had to say that. You know what I'm saying? Another person said, her trying to equate a man who makes $70K a year to a person who is universally considered unattractive is a false equivalent. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. Shout out to my brother, Jeff St. James. By the way, Jeff St. James is going to be on my show Friday. I'm interviewing him Friday. I'm going to have to drop the fly for that soon. Friday at 8 p.m., we got an interview with the black male therapist, Jeff St. James. He says, Sarah's going to cuss me out when I come on, and I believe him. He's going to tell her the truth. Okay, and we're going to actually question him about that. Hopefully, we get to speak to him before he does that interview and kind of probe him on what questions he's going to ask her. Either way, I think the point that I'm trying to make about all this is that Sarah gave a false equivalency. And look, I get it, Sarah. You think that, you know, the more I make, the more I could desire from a man, but that's where women go wrong. This idea that the more money they make puts them in a higher bracket for dating, it does not. You might want more because of hypergamy. I'm not saying you don't. You definitely want more, but you're not in a higher bracket in dating. And that's 37-year-old woman. You're not in the highest bracket of dating. I'm sorry. Leonardo DiCaprio would not date you. Okay? He would not. A lot of successful men would not date you, as you can see right now, because they could always date a younger girl who will be more cooperative, expects less, and just be happy to be there. You're out here thinking, I deserve this, I deserve that, because I make this kind of money. She's so regular. It's so funny. She thinks she's like above average. She's so regular in the sense of she thinks just like every other girl. Oh, the more money I make, I deserve a better man. It doesn't work that way. When are you women going to realize it never worked that way? That the richest women dated the best and most highest quality men. They never did. Look at Nicki Minaj. I mean, like how many Nicki Minaj not date so many Rihanna. So many women are not dating someone that makes more money than them. So many women. Okay, we have very rare cases where women make more money and then they date a man that makes even more money than that. Very few cases. Anyway, let's continue listening to the video.
For me, I'm team preference. I'm like, you like what you like. Because a lot of times we don't have any control over what we like.
Yeah.
We like what we like. We're drawn to what we're drawn to.
Right.
Now, you know, the financial thing could be a little bit different because
why?
That's more of a. I feel like that could be changed.
No, I don't know why it shouldn't be changed.
I'm not saying it should.
But,
I think it can
but
be.
But you want to know why?
Mm-hmm.
Finances are a choice. What you look like isn't.
Well, nowadays it's a choice.
Well, even surgeries, there are some women that, you know, they say if you're already beautiful and you get surgery, you're going to be more beautiful. Some women get surgery and they are, you know, they're better looking women than they used to be. However, there's levels to everything. And look, I'm not the most beautiful girl in the world. I know this about me. But my spirit is dope. And my energy is fire. And I know that there are things about me that are attractive way outside of my aesthetic. So I think that we as women should focus on the intangible things that we bring. Yeah. But I'm just so sick and tired of this. Oh, you know, rah, 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 rah. Don't try to break me down because of preference. What's up, guys? Sarah Fontenot here.
That's salary. He's 70,000, but everything about him is right up your alley.
So this is my question: is he committed to the 70,000, or is that just right now?
No, it's just right now. He's open.
Oh, that's different.
He's open to, you know, he's trying to do different things within his business, whatever that may be. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The 70,000 is not the end all be all for him.
Well, that's completely different.
Yeah.
And is it potential in action? Like, is he in action or is he just talking?
He moving and shaking. He's moving and shaking.
Completely different story.
But he's 70 grand in, and he might be 70 grand in for the first 3-4 years y'all dating.
Okay.
But he's still moving and shaking.
There's no way a man's gonna come around me and stay at 70 grand for 3-4 years. That's not even realistic.
But would you help him? I
would help him. That's what I'm saying. There's no way with me on your side.
Chance.
Yeah. That was a different question, though.
Yeah, there's a chance.
If you're committed to 70,000, I don't fit in that vision for life.
Dummy, nobody's committed to 70,000. But some people, based on what they do, they're gonna stay there. Okay? Sarah wants an entrepreneur because she knows that there's an unlimited upside to dating an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs could always make more money. One of my good friends, I got a millionaire friend. He actually just cleared $1 million last year. He got an Amazon FBA business. He sells water hoses. Out of all things, water hoses, right? And his business made over $7 million in sales, right? Gross revenue last year. Him and his partner both took home $1 million each. And he lives way below his means, but he's 46. He's 46. And he's married now, too, so he's off the market. But I was talking to him, and he was trying to give me advice about business, and he was saying, when I was in your age, I was $90,000 in debt. I'm like, you're $90K in debt? He's like, bro, I was $90K in debt. I'm like, what? I was like, word? He was like, yeah. And in fact, when I was older than you, he's like, when I was like 41, I was like $90K in debt. I'm like, what? Bro, I'm 37. I'm like $6,000 in debt, and I'm like, nah. Oh my God. I feel like I can't breathe. I can't breathe. So much debt. I'm drowning in debt. So when he said that made me feel a lot better because the reality of it is, as an entrepreneur, because I'm an entrepreneur, he's an entrepreneur. And he's actually 46, so he's 9 years older than me. And he just had like his first $1 million, like after taxes. I didn't call it FIBA, after, I can't remember, FIBA. I'll try to learn this jargon of this business jargon, but essentially after BIFIA. I can't, if anyone knows in the comments, it's like before taxes, interest, and expenses, whatever. He taught me a new word and I can't even remember. We didn't learn it in business school, right? We didn't learn that word in business school. But the whole point I'm trying to say is that every person that's an entrepreneur wants to grow. So she would, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but I believe Sarah Fontenot would date me based on who I am, the archetype of who I am, right? I'm not trying to say that, she wants me, she likes me. I'm just trying to say, like, she's talking about people like me, people that could grow, and I think it's obvious that I'm going to be a millionaire. I know some people like, you think you're... I think it's obvious, bro. Like I got clout, I got status, you know what I'm saying? People recognize me in public now. I got an audience that's growing. I'm not going to quit. So by the time I'm in my 40s, why can't I be making $20 million like Joe Budden? Joe Budden just made $20 million and he's like 47. He's 10 years older than me. Why can't I still got time to get there. So I'm saying that to say that entrepreneurs still want to grow, make more money. She wants to date a guy like that. But I still think men that are making 70K and they're stuck at 70K are still above her because they could date someone that's prettier and younger. That's a part that I think she does not understand. You could date prettier and younger and more cooperative and less passed around and less mileage, less trauma, less ego. There's so much that comes with dating a girl like Sarah. It's unbelievable. She thinks, oh, my spirit is dope. My energy is fire. Yeah, that's your self-estimation. Yeah, let you tell it. That's what you think. Now, he said, the guy was trying to say finance can be changed. He's trying to say that because men can make more money. And she's like, oh, finance is a choice. I'm telling you, women make money and they get so arrogant. I just really want them to understand, what do you think a man's going to be in your shoes? If she was a man, she wouldn't date herself. Because nobody with status, money, and wealth is going to choose a woman who's nearly 40 and might not be able to have kids. Unless you didn't want any more kids. There's different reasons to choose an older woman. You might choose her based on her legacy, like if she's like a legacy artist or something like Birdman did with Tamar Braxton. And, that's more of a legacy play. And he already got kids. I think she already got kids. So it's not based on that. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Like if you're going to be someone's third, fourth wife. And that kind of talk is a little different. But she ain't looking for that. You know what I'm saying? She ain't looking, and they're not looking for her because, like I said, she's just a podcaster, so she don't offer that to men. I don't know. I just think, it's obvious where she's going wrong, and I see where she's getting a backlash on this, but she's just oblivious to it. And I think a lot of women don't want to see men's point on it because it's going to lower their self-esteem. They have to maintain the delusion to feel good about themselves. They have to maintain it.
But if you're growing your business and you just don't know, or you need the right relationships, or you need to be in different rooms, or you need help, or I'm a neck and I'm a strong one.
Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
It means men are the head and we're the neck.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I know my role.
Yeah.
And I think we live in a world where women have forgotten their place.
Oh, snap. That sounded tough.
Did it?
You forgot your place.
It's the truth. Women have forgotten their place, Tony. We're so masculine. We're so hard. And I understand it because it's survival based.
Yeah.
But it's a defense mechanism. Women don't want to be this hard, masculine, strong, tough. We don't want that.
I believe you. You know why?
Why?
The women I come around in that regard, they go into their feminine with me.
Yeah, I believe.
And I don't even force it.
I believe you.
They just do it.
I believe.
And I've had women tell me, man, you got me in my.
You want to know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because you make your yeses yeses and your no's mean no.
Mm.
Even me, who is an ultimate pusher, I'm going to push to get what I want, obviously. Right. Most people, well, I don't know. I definitely push to get what I want. And if I don't get it, if you tell me no, have you noticed that I stop pushing as much with you specifically?
No.
No, it's the same level of push.
One time I had to tell you, hey, man, respect my no.
But since then,
you haven't asked me anything.
You're here today.
Just this.
Period. But I didn't push because I learned. Your yeses mean yeses and your no's mean no.
So you wasn't going to ask again?
No.
Oh.
No.
See, I didn't even get to that point because I was like, yo,
Yeah.
it already came to you.
That's what I'm saying. It was literally like, hi.
Yeah. Right.
It wasn't like, hey, come do the show. What's up with the show?
Yeah.
Because that's not, but I've learned you now. And we as women, we're seeking leadership. We're seeking certainty. We're seeking decisiveness. And your yeses mean yes and your no's mean no. So this is a lesson for the men that you've just said when, you know, I've had women on the show that have been like, if we're mouthy or we're this, like, you need to step up your masculinity. What she meant to say is when it's not stepping up masculinity, but when you're boldly in your masculinity, us as women, we naturally want to be feminine.
Yeah.
The world makes us masculine.
Gotcha.
If you are the lines, right? And we color inside of the lines, if the lines start getting smaller, so do we.
Yeah.
We follow the rules that y'all give us. But most of y'all enable our bad behavior because you don't want to deal with it right now. You don't want to argue.
Yeah.
You don't want to have a hard time.
Right.
But that's what's necessary in order for a woman to truly trust you, to follow you, and to be feminine.
I don't buy none of that shit she just said. I don't buy none of it, bro. I don't buy it. Oh, women are masculine because it's a defense mechanism. No, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. First of all, I don't want a girl on. I don't even care what your excuse is. You might have excuses, but I don't want to. How about this? I don't want a girl that's on defense. The fact that you're on defense, that says trauma to me, that says issues, you're going to have conflict, you're going to be reliving it. We all know how women are. When a woman's traumatized, she's like done. There's like no saving her. I don't care how much therapy she goes to. She could go through psychotherapy. It won't change a goddamn thing. It won't. Now, the part that I really liked in their back and forth just now, she's saying that, you know, she was trying to say, yeah, remember me and you, right? Like, you know, because your yeses mean yes and your no's mean no. And he's like, you know, he had to tell her no a couple times. You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh, but you know, then I learned. And a couple of good takeaways from this. One, she's begging for opportunities. So she's in the industry begging people, and people telling her no. And she going back, oh, but no. They got to tell her no. No, bitch. No. Fuck. And then he didn't know that she wasn't going to ask again, you know what I'm saying? But he was like, oh, shit, I had to tell you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had to tell her more than once. And this is why we tell men, tell her no. I started writing a book. I probably should finish that book called Tell Her No. It literally was the title of the book, was Tell Her No. Maybe I should finish that. You know, I am coming out with another book that I'm really happy about. So shout out to everyone that got my free download, Be Attractive and Shut Up. It's a great book. And it's actually the predecessor and it's a slither of what's in my new book, Triple Your Body Count, which is something that, like, it's just ready, right? It's just seasoning a little bit more, but it's almost like 98% done. So happy about that. I finished writing like the last chapter in Africa. I was really happy about that. But I'm also coming out with that book, Triple Your Body Count. Stay tuned for that. But she blames the world for being masculine. And I want to stop her right there, okay? We don't accept that as a viable excuse. We don't. What if a man said he blames the world for why he only can make $70K? Because you said, oh, finances is a choice. So how come femininity is not a choice? See, this is the game women play. Everything that they do has a reason that they can explain and defend, but men, oh no, you only make $70K? Well, that's a choice. And this and this, and your finances, and your weave is a choice. These big ass eyelashes is a choice. For you want to be a woman who travels and tours and stuff like that, it's a choice. You're not a wife. Halle Berry's ex-husband, her first husband, David Justice, I believe his name is, don't quote me, I think his name is David Justice. He was a baseball player. I said he was a football player in one of my lives. I didn't know who he was, you know what I'm saying? I won't lie, I'm not that into major league sports and professional sports like that. Other than boxing. We talk about boxing? Holla at me. But he said that one of the reasons why he actually filed for divorce from Halle Berry, mind you, Halle Berry proposed to him after 5 months of dating. One of the reasons why he filed for a divorce, because he didn't see her as a wife. He didn't see her as, like, she had a mothering nature, the mother to his kids. And he was like, oh, well, she can't cook and she doesn't clean. And a lot of women were saying, well, oh, if you're the breadwinner, you don't got to cook or clean. And this is the stupidity of when women believe that if the more money you make, you don't have to be a woman anymore. But women expect us to make a bunch of money and still be men. Can you imagine that? They want us to still be masculine, still have hands, still can protect them. But for them, the more money they make, the less of a woman they need to be. Because for them, money is God to women. Money is God to women. I'm telling you, women love money. That's why they're the devil. Men represents God, women represents the devil, because women love money and use people, and men use money and love people. And that's the difference between men and women. And this is why she's holding it. Oh, you got to have more money. You got to have more money because money is her God. Money is the greatest value you could offer a woman. And that's why they believe if they got money, they don't need a man. So the more money they earn, the less of a woman they need to be. They could be a tranny for all. They think a bunch of money and you're a tranny, a man's going to want you. Because they're looking at the world through their lens. They can't see that the world doesn't look through, that the whole world, as in other people don't look through the world through the feminine lens. Only females do that. As men, we're rational. We can sit back and say, we know that we look at the world a certain way and women look at the world another way. But women believe, the way they look at the world is the best way to look at the world. We only should look at the world through the feminine lens. It's stupidity. And so anytime I see a girl do this, I'm not impressed by it. I don't find you're smart. I don't want you to educate my kids. Nothing about this impresses me. It actually is very unattractive, the fact that you don't have the compassion, the empathy, and the foresight to be able to see that men and women look at the world very differently and try to exist in those worlds. Instead, you're trying to convince people they're wrong and this and that, and it's retarded. It's retarded. You know, her main issue is she doesn't understand men. She understands herself. She understands that for her, money is her God. And so the more money a man makes, the more she wants to become a woman. And then the more money she makes, the less she has to be a woman. Because there's clearly a line for Oprah down the street and around the corner. There's clear. Every man just wants an Oprah so bad. She old as hell, but she got all that money. We just, oh my God, we fantasize about her. All these pornography is just made about Oprah, and it doesn't exist. There is no corn made after old rich woman. There's none. There's beautiful, and corn is a good example of what men really want. Youthful, beautiful women. Not old and money. There are no storylines of, oh man, his boss, she's the boss, and she makes a bunch of money, and she's out of shape, but she's making a bunch of money. There's none of that. But there's a bunch of storylines of younger women going after their older boss who makes money, who's not in the best shape. Just the way the world is. Anyway, I'm going to put a link to this video in the description. It's an hour-long conversation. I reacted to it because I won't lie, I seen it on MTR's channel. Shout out to MTR. Even though MTR, I feel like don't fuck with me, which for whatever reason, I don't know. I could get into that story. It's crazy, the MTR, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't know for a fact, but we had a conversation, and that was just the energy. So that's just my take on it. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see y'all over there.